Good morning, welcome to Grandpa's Workshop. I'm Loz and it's the workshop update Sunday 8th of May, I think it is. There we go. So what's been happening? Well, if you listened to last week you'd realise that it's been all hands to the pumps the past 2 weeks. The good news is Nana Sue's home after an acute gastric infection followed by pulmonary embolisms, blood clots on the lungs. So as happens with old gits, you go in with one thing and then you come out a lot worse in many ways than when you went in. Anyway, we got through that. She's home and we're looking to put, for the first time, that will stick a care package in place for both of us. So I'm going to talk to the GP about happy pills on Monday and we'll go from there. So what's been happening? Obviously very little. I'll give you an all-round workshop update. I did tell you last time that I'd ordered some stuff. Some stuff has come and more stuff is on the way. So I'll give you an idea. Right. I've done a tiny bit more on putting together a 3 foot by 2 foot 2-tier trolley to take all the benchtop power tools. You remember I talked about it. Jointer on one end, the disc and belt sander on the other. I cut a pair of double grinders with different things on them on the top, and then the lunchbox planer underneath. That's the bits you can see here. That's it. Made no progress on the sleds for either the bandsaw or the table saw, but the bits are all done and all over the place. I've yet to finish off getting all the cutters for the new 10 router table, specifically for the finger joints. I have one ceramic cutter and I need the other 2 sizes, and then I'll start playing with that. The bandsaw I've ordered stuff for. You'd think with it being a 350 Sabre I'd have everything, but Tinternet's turned my head again. I've got another aluminium fence and a table extension and some bandsaw blade lubricant that I want to play with and show you, because I'm buying blingy stuff for my new girlfriend. That's that. I've got to play a little more with my new Bosch digital bench drill, which I'm absolutely loving. Thanks to Peter in the small shed, his review a while back decided me to go with the Bosch rather than the Parkside or the iron hole versions. Paid a little extra. I did manage to get that with a discount, which took a little bit of the pain out of it. I'm still halfway through and I'm going to finish road testing the record power, the grinder polishers for me chisels and plane blades. There's that. I've got to show you some of the bits I've got in my little fancy toolbox, and the big things is to go with the router table for routering grooves and mouldings, etc., and the finger joints and all the other stuff. I've got the Trend Mortise and tenon jig to play with the previously bought Trend router. I've been looking at the various ways of making, with power tools, machined mortise and tenons, and obviously what I'm going to do doesn't really need me to pump out for a domino from Festool. So I was looking at various bits for making mortise and tenons, sleds for the table saw, and they're all a bit big bit and clumsy and clumpy, but need the proper slide grooves, and of course the Rage hasn't, so that jig doesn't fit my needs. The big Lee mortise and tenon and the simplified ones all fine. But the trend jig seems to be a good middle ground. I managed to get a good deal on that as well, and it enables you to make mortise and tenons in a wide range of sizes and angles and haunches as well. So obviously getting a jig like this is not a magic wand to escape me learning hand tool skills to make mortise and tenon joints. It's got its own learning curve, but I'm going to play with it, and you'll see that over the coming months. The other thing is, after watching a couple of guys, including Peter, in the workshop, he'd upgraded a cheap lathe to this model, which is the Draper, and I got this one again. I managed to get it in a sale. Do you see a pattern here? It's only a little one, but it has the variable speed, digital variable speed, which, having learnt my lesson with the benchtop drill and changing bands, ain't got no time for that. I'm gonna have a play with that. Ultimately, this workshop, I want to build the skills to make small turned pots, breakfast cereal size bowls for potpourri and everything, and Christmas ornaments. So the little 12-incher, 250 watt, 300mm maximum throw, 200, 250 diameter. I don't know. Anyway, you'll see it when we get into it. So that I'm going to find space for that somewhere. The question I need for you guys is, lathe gouges. There's a whole plethora of them, and a lot of them, especially the budget end, you know, they look like lathe gouges you see people working with on internet, and then when they come you realise they're only about that big. So homework for you guys, especially the ones that have done some. What's the minimum kit out for a beginner in terms of turning chisels? I know I need a parting tool, and I know there's a difference between a spindle and a bowl gauge. So what's the minimum number, and what brands do people recommend for me just making a start without ending up killing myself? I'm going to get a face mask, and that's about it. So there's that. So I've gone on too long, and I've left Nana too long, but I'll be in and out over the next week. And everything, as I said last week, everything's in the pipeline. But yeah, we're trying to create a new regime when, you know, I can get some time sometime during the week to nip out for more than half an hour, get me exercises in, and still maintain some time in here for clarity of mind and still doing a bit inside. So I'll see you guys next week, maybe. There is a even bigger backlog, but you'll see it when you see it. I'm aiming to get all the purchases finished by my 12-month anniversary, and I'll be everything in, and then it'll just be Waffle and projects. So there we go. I'm off as usual for my cup of tea. I'm hoping the weather's a bit dull Sunday morning. I'm doing this Sunday morning, by the way. The weather's a bit dull, but I'm hoping I can get a set out in the sun this afternoon, ready for the carers. Okay, that's enough. You crack on. I'm off for my cup of tea, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.